Yes, it was like life changing for me because I actually was reading that during COVID. You know, COVID changed a lot for a lot of people. I was reading that during that, and it really changed everything. That's one.
Awesome. And I'm gonna turn it back on to you to round us out.
So, I mean, we heard about a lot today. Talked about finding strength and confidence, finding yourself in confidence.
Yes.
Talking about enforcing the boundary, not just setting the boundary. And something that you had said earlier about the body telling you about what's going on with you and what's wrong. That is so true. Because who's ever experienced cramps? Okay?
All of the time.
Who's experienced like extreme food cravings to the point where you might think you're pregnant, but you're not? Mm-hmm. All right, got another one for you. Who gets like or who had gotten extreme fatigue before your period came on? Okay, all right. What if I told you that all of this stuff that the Midol was supposed to fix is actually a sign that your body is suffering from hormonal imbalances? We don't get taught that. It makes me so upset that this is science and they don't want us to know it until it's too late. I hope I don't say anything that's triggering for anybody in the room when I say this, but you don't find out about a lot of this stuff until something goes wrong or you start having fertility issues. And that, it makes me very upset. Because I'm just like, do you mean I had this fibroid? And the only reason I know because of a whole different issue. What do you mean? What are polyps? What are these things? They don't teach us that. Like, so I'm about to be 35 next month. When I was in school, they didn't teach us this. I was in the Bush era of No Child Left Behind and abstinence. Like, that's what they tried to teach. And because they tried to teach that, they kind of downplayed a lot about menstrual health. Like, of course, you learned about the period. But they didn't talk about, like, it's not called the vagina. It's actually the vulva. So vagina's internal. The vulva's the entire female reproductive area. They didn't really teach that. They taught it, but they didn't break it down like that. So don't go to your doctor saying vagina. They're going to like, what do you mean? But they also didn't tell you how important it is to learn about your period. Your period is your body's report card. Like, legit. It is the report card. It lets you know if you're doing good or if you're doing, improvement. We're not going to say bad. Improvement. So signs that, you might have had a not so great report card. You have very heavy bleeding to the point that you're wearing 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6 pads per day. If your period's longer than 7 days, if that. So mine used to be 13. Mine was 13. Regular periods, if you're missing periods, all of these things are signs that your body is screaming that there is something wrong with me. We need to fix this.
What about the regular period? Had a 4-day period. Am I okay, or do I need to have a 7-day period?
So let's not include spotting. So who spotted before their period? I know I did.
Oh yeah, I used to.
Okay, that's not normal either. Yeah. That's usually a sign that you have low progesterone. If you don't know what progesterone is, if you're trying to get pregnant, you need that to be high because that helps the egg and sperm be
to be high. What kind of high?
No, the number. You need the number to be on the higher scale. But like we don't get taught that. You get taught that. Like I know I got taught like, hey, when you see a little bit of blood, start tracking.
Yeah.
So but some people don't even learn how to track their period. They didn't even learn that part. But I'm also going to let you guys know that we are not like the men with penises. We're not like the people that have that. If you have a uterus or had a uterus, you have an extra rhythm to your body. People with penises, men have the circadian. I have to say it. Look, I have to say it like that because of gender identity.
Oh, yeah.
Let me scroll back real quick. I am a sexual health professional. I take a whole. I had to do the work, so I have to be very conscious about how I describe things. So that's why I describe things the way I do. Fast forward. So they have a circadian rhythm. That's a 24-hour cycle.
The people with penises.
The people with penises, yeah.
just straight.
Yes, they have a 24-hour cycle, so they can get up, go to work, all extra energized, have all the fun during the day, and then when it comes to come back home, they do what? Go sit down somewhere and watch TV. Because their biological clock's 24 hours. So it goes like this and then like this. if you have a uterus, you have a circadian rhythm too, but you also have something called the infradian rhythm. And that is what we're going to talk about right here. This consists of, everybody's a little bit different, but it's typically 28 days. If yours is not 28 days, that is okay. It can be 28 to 32. Anything lower or anything higher, we got some work to do. But this rhythm is broken down into 4 phases. So everybody knows about menstruation, right? I don't have to go through that. Everybody knows about menstruation. But then after menstruation, think of menstruation as your winter phase. You're in hibernation mode. You need to relax and you need to rest. Hear what I say. We talked about it earlier. Rest. It is okay to take that nap. It is okay to take time, go to the closet in the dark by yourself. Take that time, even if it's for 10 minutes. I promise you, thank me later. But teach your daughters, teach your nieces, cousins, your friends this too, because that burnout culture is real. If we continue to burn ourselves out, we're going to continue making ourselves sick. And the only time you rest is in the hospital. I have a lot of women in my family suffer from hyperindependence, though they do have husbands. It's one of those things where it's like, because I'm the only girl in my family. I have nothing but brothers. I asked for sisters, nothing but brothers.
How many brothers do you have?
4.
Wow.
So y'all can only imagine. So it's one of those things where when you grow up in that environment, when I came on my period, my stepdad was home. Do you know what he told me? He said, wait till your mom gets home. Because I thought I had pooped on myself. Because no one teaches you, like in school, they say, oh yeah, it's going to be bright red and da. Mine didn't look like that. So when my mom got home, she also had a lot of shame when it came to periods and talking about this stuff, even though she's a nurse. Both of my parents are nurses. So different conversation for a different day. But it's one of those things where it's like that type of trauma can get passed down. So talking about my period and things like that, nothing but brothers. Who am I going to talk to about this? Right? So this type of education is important. So what did we say about menstruation? We're going to what? All right. That's wintertime. So now we're going to get into springtime. I love springtime. I'm an April baby. I already told y'all. So springtime is your follicular phase. Your follicular phase, you're going to have a little bit more energy, a little bit of pep to your step. You're going to also start noticing that your libido is going to start to rise. Okay? When that libido starts to rise, y'all should already know what time it is. Look. But it's really important to start tracking that because, again, your body is going to tell you when something is wrong. If you're still feeling fatigue or suffering any PMS symptoms in your follicular phase, go to the doctor and get your hormone levels checked. And also, too, when you get your hormone levels checked, and again, I put out a lot of information about this, but there's certain things you got to test for at certain times. If you get that test wrong, you might be on the wrong regimen. So you have to make sure that when you're getting your hormones, your vitamin levels and stuff like that, get the blood work done. And you have to request for a lot of these things. Your doctor is not going to do this. I'm sorry. A lot of our doctors are not preventative. They're only for treatment. If you got to work the system a little bit and say something wrong, just to get your insurance to cover it. Yeah. Because I know for me, I'll share this story real quick. So last year I actually had surgery to remove to quote my doctor, a huge ball rolling around in my uterus. It was a polyp. And it was causing me a lot of discomfort, abnormal bleeding. So we opted for surgery. But she said it was trying to pop out on its own. I've been doing a lot to heal my body. When I say a lot, I am a holistic girly, but I also believe in Western medicine. So I like to blend the two. But I wouldn't have known that I also had a fibroid that's near my stomach. And I have a theory that I had this fibroid for a very long time. And this is some of the things why I've had a 13-day cycle, why I was heavily bleeding. Like a lot of this has been connected. But when I started doing my little stuff, I started noticing a little difference. The bloat, I used to have this, I remember just always sitting down and I had this bloating and I was just like, this is not going away. Why am I seeing the abs up here? But this is not going away. And again, no one discusses fibroids and all of these things with you. So my theory is I had a really big fibroid and I was able to shrink it. And it all starts to make sense now because when you stop feeding the fibroid, it has nothing to do but die and get small.
How did you shrink it?
So I did something called seed cycling, which is the easiest thing in the world. It's pretty much you take a blend of 2 seeds at different phases. So in menstruation and follicular, you do pumpkin seed and brown flax seed. Please grind them up.
You have a book on this, right?
Yes.
I was
Okay.
So thank you. It's a little, so I give away a lot of information. So, but yes, I have a journal on this and some calendars too. I can give you. So I actually did.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
y'all can pass this around. I printed, these are ebooks, but I also printed these around.
You selling them?
Yeah, so you can buy the ebooks online, but that's just these printed out. But pretty much, y'all, you take those blends for that. Grind them up, please. And then you also do sesame and sunflower seed. You grind those up during your ovulation. Everybody know what ovulation is, right?
No, I just have a question.
Oh, okay. So,
Because I'm way on the other end.
I got you. I got you. I'm gonna get
Started at 39.
So yeah, we're gonna trust me, I got all the folks.
Okay.
Yes, I got you. But ovulation is your 3rd phase. So when your ovulation, your libido is very, very high. You want to pounce on something. That is your body's way of telling you it is safe to conceive and bring life into this world. When you don't feel that, just know that's the issue, because your body needs to feel safe. So that's why you ovulate. If you are not ovulating, your body is literally telling you something is wrong with me. Fix me so I can help you bring life into this world. And we don't focus on that enough. And I wholeheartedly believe that if we were to have learned this at a younger age, we would have actually known to start tracking when we ovulate. So we can figure out like when did we stop ovulating if you are experiencing that type of issue. Because there are signs, if you're missing your period, if your period is shorter, like the whole cycle is shorter than 28 days, that is an issue. It's just so much that I've been learning this whole time. And again, this is why I really wish that you learned this at a younger age. But the last phase is your luteal phase. That's what I'm actually in right now. With your luteal phase, ovulation is like summer, luteal is like fall. You feel good. What happens in fall, right? It gets hot and then it starts to get cold. Pretty much that's what your body does too. The first half of your luteal phase, you're kind of like still got energy to do things, but let's take it back. And then that last week of your luteal phase is like, all right, we're gonna prepare for winter. Where are the clothes at? Where's my suits? You got to start preparing for that. But when you account for this, you can also start looking at how this applies to your everyday life. So you're probably like, well, Monica, I'm going through perimenopause, or I am past that, or I am on birth control. Menopause folks, I'm just going to let y'all know, y'all can do the things I'm about to tell you in a second. You can, because you still got a cycle. Remember, when you experience menopause, that is 12 months of consecutive no period. If you have a period and it's been 11 months, you're still in perimenopause. You got to start over. So just putting that out there. But if you have experienced menopause, do you still go through the phases? No. But in fact, if you have fibroids, because what feeds fibroids is estrogen, when you go through menopause, you don't produce as much estrogen anymore. So some of your fibroids probably will die. But also, you got to remember what feeds that. It's diet. It's a lot of stuff that's in the environment. So just for the menopause folks, you can do what I'm about to say, but it's just, it won't be as effective or beneficial as if you were to still have your cycle. So why I bring this all up? So I told y'all before, I'm a cycle sync coach. So what we actually do is each phase of the cycle, we're going to sync with whatever we're trying to focus on. So if it's fitness, there's cycle syncing for that. If it's nutrition, there's cycle syncing for that, because there's certain foods that you eat at different phases of your cycle that will help your body and optimize your energy. And those PMS symptoms that we were all talking about we had earlier start to go away. Your periods start to be more consistent. And also too, like the cramping, the fatigue, all those things, they end up going away. Now, I'm not promising y'all overnight success. Give it 3 months at least. And there's other things that you have to start doing too. But when you start looking at one aspect of your life, it starts to apply to everything. So for instance, why I actually learned about this, because I was trying to see how to get off of birth control. Like I was already off, but what they don't teach you about birth control is that it has not been fully tested, especially on women. Did y'all know that they did not start testing on women until the 90s? How long has birth control been around? Weird, right? There's a lot of recalls on birth control, especially if you have the depot shot.
Now, just for me, it was by the grace of God, my mother had passed away. She died of cancer, and it increased the risk of cancer. So early on, I just never took it because of that, actually. But I never had to.
I have a really quick question. So you talked about shrinking your fiber through some of the feed cycle and all the things that you do. Do you believe, in your opinion, because I know you're not a doctor, but in your opinion, do you think that by shrinking them, you can eliminate them altogether, or?
And sometimes they come out. Fun fact. So clots and fibroids are a little bit different. With clots, that's just when the blood gets together and it comes out. That's a little bit different. But yes, I do, only because mine what did she say? Mine was like 1.5 millimeters, but she said it was near my stomach. But I was just like, I had the lower belly bloating was right on my stomach. It was in a certain spot and didn't go away. So I've heard of a lot of success stories, but it's not also just focusing on womb health. It is literally looking at your diet too. You have to look at what's feeding the thing or the root cause. Because for some people, like for me, for instance, I cannot eat peanuts. And I used to eat peanut butter out the jar. And now I developed a peanut allergy when I was 23. And red meat. I used to love my mom's, she used to do these hamburger patties with gravy and onions and rice. I miss it, but I'm noticing beef, for whatever reason, I can't do beef like that anymore. And I just remember, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm just listening to all my things. But all of these things starts to create up inflammation in your gut. And your gut health also, by the way. Your gut health dictates a lot of what your immune system is doing and what your period health is doing. So if you don't got your gut right, I bet you anything, you have other issues going on within your body. When we say, especially in the Black community, we like to joke about being lactose intolerant, but that is actually, in my opinion, is what makes us more susceptible to things because our body is now inflamed. You are purposely inflaming your body. And now we are suffering from what's going on.
Stress does too.
Yes.
Stress affects your
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just going to interject real quick. We do need to
Because it sounds like I just need everything. I mean, I need womb. I need every single thing. So what does that look like? Because if I want everything, what does that look like when I come to you?
Yes. So with me, I am a coach. And as y'all can see, I like to talk a lot. So I am actually starting my group coaching program again. I have a master class on March 31st. It's at 6:30. It is virtual. It is free. And pretty much this is just to talk to it's this discussion, but more centered around fitness. But what I'm going to do is just to show you guys one aspect of what cycle syncing can do for you. So I do contracting. I'm a very busy person. If you look at everything that I do, y'all look at me and say, how do you do it all? But this is going to be something that I'm going to keep it. This is going to be about an hour. The fitness that I'm offering, the 45 minutes tops, because you got to warm up your body and cool down. I don't want y'all limping and saying, oh, Monica did this to me. No. But there's also a science behind why I'm going to keep the workouts to 30 minutes. Because fun fact, especially if you have a hormonal imbalance, 30-minute workouts, you'll see more results, especially if you are focused on toning up and losing weight. You'll see that in the first 30 minutes. Anything longer than that, you won't see any benefit at all. And then also, you have to switch up the workouts depending on what phase of the cycle you're in. So, we're going to do group coaching. If you need like VIP coaching, I got that too.
And you do individuals too. Like,
Yep, that's VIP coaching.
Like
so.
Showing up at the gym with me. You got the
We can do that. We can do that. Right. Just scan your face and then the AI for sure.
Okay. And with that said, I am going to kind of start to wrap up so that we do respect the owner. Yes. But a couple of things, and then Monica can give you some more of her information as we're closing out. But again, we want to thank you all for coming out this evening. Thank you to Nikki for opening up this space for us.